In a world full of film and TV news,
This just in.
Breaking news for you now.
Gotta interrupt you here. We have some breaking news.
To another story that is breaking overnight.
3 men have joined forces to bring you
Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Cut with myself, Connor, back in with Craig and Brad.
Yep.
This week we've got quite a bit. We've got all sorts of general news as usual. We've got the Venom trailer that dropped today, Monday as we're recording. Stranger Things look, and as well a nice fun little activity we'll go through because the last one was brilliant. We're going through our top 5 characters ever in film and TV, and then we've got to agree on 5.
Just forgot I didn't do any TV. I didn't even think about it. Anyway,
TV
geezer. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I think we'll kick straight off with some Marvel news.
Okay, all right. Not much this week, but there was a new Loki TV spot come out. Tom Hiddleston having a little talk about stuff. Everyone loves Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, every look of that looks cool and love him.
Yeah, and he announced that it's now moving forward from June 11th to June 9th, and every episode will come on a Wednesday, which would be interesting. I guess is that to stop the clash with Bad Batch? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Widow comes out on a Friday as well.
Yeah, that's July, it's the month after. So yeah,
still be out.
Yeah, could make sense. Yeah, that's good. 2 days earlier, fine.
Yeah,
as we said before, we were looking forward to that anyway, weren't we?
Yeah.
Then we got just before we started recording, Black Widow posters. This film that's just never coming out. Eventually, I guess it is July 9th, I think it is. But new character photos, poster, sorry. Yeah, one of Black Widow herself, the new Black Widow, Red Guardian, and another Black Widow. Yeah. And then you had Taskmaster's one, which people are picking up as quite interesting. It seems to be a mystery who's playing it. There's no actor name, so everyone has Scarlett Johansson above Florence Pugh. It has all the actors name, David Harbour and that. This one doesn't have any actor name. Is there just quick? Let's have a massive discussion about it. But any ideas of who it could be?
The only thing I can think of that it's someone already in the cast that we've seen. We've said a few times like that Rachel Weisz's character. Yeah. I would feel like it would need to be a bit of a twist. As cool, I think that's an extremely cool character, Taskmaster. Even before Black Widow, just from the animation stuff I've seen in that, he looks really cool.
And in that Spider-Man game as well. Good,
yeah, of course, really cool in that. So this, I think, but it might need I think it's going to need a twist, not just a geezer that wants to be Taskmaster.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I agree. I think it's got to be a twist as well.
What a lot of people are saying, or they have been saying for ages, that it's actually it's actually Jeremy Renner, and it's
too skinny.
Clint Barton going after her.
Really?
Apparently, who knows?
That'd be cool.
What? Yeah. What was he doing then in that period?
Well,
so this is between.
You don't know,
yeah. I thought he was just on the. He was on the ranch, wasn't he?
Yeah, because it's after Civil War and before Infinity War, so he should be under house arrest.
Yeah, with
Ant-Man.
Laura.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Was it Laura?
Laura. I think Laura. I don't know.
One of them.
His wife. Yeah, so who knows? I don't think that would really work. It doesn't really seem to make sense. Like, why would he be doing all this? But like you said, quite a cool character. And plus, Hawkeye's not that good at things. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
no. He's doing all the Black Panther jumping about, the Spider-Man jumping around, sword and shield. Yeah, I kind of get that. Does fire a bow and arrow in the trailer, but
yeah, you never really see him. Sort of the only thing he does is jump off of tall things.
Yeah,
even in what's it? Which is really cool. That bit in Endgame when he does the jumps off and he puts the thing on him and he goes up and stuff.
Yeah,
he's always just going up and down with his tools. He's never doing flips.
I mean, he's very limited, isn't he?
He's very limited.
Yeah. But who knows? It'll be. The grand scheme of things doesn't really matter because I don't think people want to see the film anyway. So
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, no, a couple of months now and it's out. I guess we'll find out.
We'll judge.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
People keep saying it does look like a woman's body, like Taskmaster. She does look very skinny.
Yeah.
So
well, it's not Red Guardian, put it that way.
It's not. It's definitely not David Harbour. Definitely not. So some news that come out today, I think, or yesterday, because there is rumours that there's another big trailer coming this week at some point. Now, you've got to think it's probably Eternals.
Yeah.
It has to be. They've done their first little look, so it's ready to go.
Everyone's a bit hyped at the minute as well, so it would gather traction more so
and
now.
She's won her Oscars and stuff like that. I mean, you watched Nomadland, didn't you, the other day, and you said it looked...
It's fantastic. It looked stunning.
Yeah, so it's what old Feige was saying. So saying that it looks great, haven't had to do much CGI with regards to the backgrounds and locations and that. So it makes sense to do it. But off the back of that, apparently the sequel to it is already planned, which isn't a massive leap to actually understand that. Most Marvel films get a sequel. I don't think there's any that isn't. So
Yeah.
good, I suppose. But it's about time we see it now.
No, 100%. As I think we've already said it, that I'm really, really intrigued, and it might be because even the comic guys that absolutely love to sort of go like, oh, I know the most. I remember the issue of 74, and they haven't got any power with this. I feel like nobody knows, and it's just a case of this eternal celestials, give us what you got, and I cannot wait.
I do like that though. Don't give away too much.
Yeah.
It hypes people more.
I do as well. Yeah.
Unlike the Disney Plus shows that they keep trying to ruin for some reason. But that's it for Marvel. I haven't seen anything else.
No,
nothing. No.
The only thing I found quite strange, it's not really that much worth a mention, but it's same old Batista. You know, he comes out and just says stuff that he probably shouldn't actually say. He just seems to say whatever he wants in interviews, and everyone seems to just let him get away with it. But he said something along the lines of, well, no, not he confirmed, this is his last appearance
he's not doing it
as
anymore.
Drax.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, and then James Gunn said like, well, I basically along the lines of, no one will recast your Drax, and that's it. But basically, he just said he's 54 when this comes. By the time this comes out, he'll be 54, and he thinks he won't be able to. He'll look saggy. His words.
Well, the Rock's 50.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine.
You'll be all right.
But yeah, it was just quite strange to just be hit with that.
Off the
wasn't
back of that, you've seen that stupid. Well, it may not be stupid, but that fan theory going around about what the colours of the titles for Guardians of the Galaxy mean. So, like the first one was in like a brown colour, and Groot died in speech marks. Died. I mean, technically, I guess he did. And then the second one was blue, where Yondu died. And then this one's more like a grey colour now, which is quite
weird. They're saying he's going to die.
Yeah, so they say, but whether that's a true theory or whatever, I would have said if it was grey, it would have looked more towards bloody Rocket Raccoon than Drax. Drax is like a weird greeny grey.
It is weird. Like, it is a bit of a weird colour. But
then it's weird that he come out and said that, which is, again, surely there has to be some things in play here about saying, do you know what, keep your mouth shut.
I think he's going for as well. And that's another thing he said in the interview, which was quite interesting, because I knew that James Gunn wanted him for Suicide Squad, and he turned it down. But apparently he writ a role for Dave Bautista specifically. And then Zack Snyder come in and said, like, well, you can be a leader this one, sort of thing. Yeah. And he went, fair enough. I've got to do that. But he said he wants to do like he wants to be like Netflix's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He wants to do be the lead action movies where he don't need to be too like he's just a big fella and with a gun in this. Like, he doesn't need to be ripped like.
We're talking about Army of the Dead, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Zack Snyder's Army.
I was trying to catch up with what he was saying. Then.
So yeah, it sounds like he wants to do that. And to be fair, that'd be quite cool if Netflix had him on their radar just to do action films with, because he is good.
It'd be a good career move for him, I think, because he's not in Hollywood. I don't know if Netflix is Hollywood, but in Hollywood, he's not going to get the main roles.
No,
really,
right? Yeah,
he's overshadowed by The Rock.
And now even John Cena's fucking.
Oh yeah,
up
exactly that. But just off the back of that, actually, there was a first couple of reviews coming for that Army of the Dead, wasn't there?
Yeah, that was just the one you said.
It seems like exactly what you'd want from it. It seems like fun. I was a bit surprised that they said they take it quite seriously though, because I didn't get that from the trailer.
Yeah, that took me with the tiger and stuff. I thought that's it.
Unless they mean the serious part of like like not mental health, but the way they're clearly not. They're struggling post-traumatic stress, maybe from like, because they look in that salvage yard they're all in. They look like he looks well depressed. Batista at the beginning, so maybe it's really serious at the beginning, then it gets really fun.
That's because he's not getting the roles he wants. That's why.
But you're right. That is quite. I wouldn't associate this film with serious.
However, the takeaway from this is that Brandon Davis on Twitter. The takeaway from it is exactly what you think. He said it's a big budget, creative, super fun, thrilling, violent zombie film.
Okay.
What more do you want from it? That's exactly what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, that was a bit off track there. So I'll finish my lot up with just two little Star Wars bits of news.
Yeah.
So Andor is filming currently in Blackpool in UK, which is Blackpool in the UK, which is strange location. It looks like it's just on the seafront, and the little sets they've put up is. Basically, looks like they could just be there.
American listeners will have no idea where Blackpool is.
No. Just look it up, Blackpool. It's got a big pleasure beach.
The Big Dipper.
The Big Dipper, yeah. And ain't that where the Pepsi Max thing is as well?
I think so, yeah.
Whatever that is. I've never been there. But anyway, yeah, so, and then one of our followers very kindly said near where he lives, and he sent us some photos, so exclusive to us, I guess.
Yeah, they are.
We'll be posting these soon. So the southeast coast of England, in a disused quarry, is the next filming location for Andor, and that's moving over on the 21st of May. Some of the sets are already there, obviously. Actors not yet, 'cause it hasn't begun. So, yeah, very, very nice. And that William Neville Jones.
Cheers, William.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That can't be far. That's tempting to drive down there. And have
I know
a-
what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
do I.
Yeah.
Brayton. Do you remember the ones when they was doing because they did Force Awakens in the UK, and then they had the. Do you remember the Rebel base in the first one with the Falcon outside? It's all like looked like big Teletubby places, you know, like the hangers with the grass over and stuff. People broke into there, and there was I think it weren't TikTok then, but whatever one of it was on, there was people climbed on top of them and then Falcon taking videos of themselves. I would have died to have been.
Yeah,
done
It's
that.
quite fresh, to be fair.
I would have got in, sat in the pilot seat like that. But yeah, no, that's quite cool. Obviously, Kenobi's already filming. This seems to be filming as well, so they're moving forward with everything. The next thing, which I got quite excited about, the Star Wars Fallen Jedi game sequel is coming 2023. I absolutely love that game. Everyone, I think, likes it, and the story in it is considered canon throughout the whole Star Wars canon. But it is really good. Obviously, spoilers and that. There was a bit at the very end where Vader turns up, and you just have to run for your life. Basically, there's no way trying to stop him. But yeah, it was a really good story. It left off really well. Did you play it? Or
Yeah,
finish
played it. Yeah,
so
brilliant.
it ends where it's basically they're all looking now for force sensitive children to sort of build up the Jedi and rebellion again. Obviously, that doesn't happen because we know what happens afterwards. But yeah, really good story. I'm looking forward to it, and yeah,
I'll bring that on all day. I love a game where you feel powerful.
yeah.
So do I.
And then there were so many different combinations of force powers you could use, and whenever there's a tricky opponent, I remember in Craig once there was this mission. I can't remember what it was there. That was what they pulse guards or something. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And they were really hard work. So just get them towards the edge, force push. I can't be asked for that shit. They're too hard.
I just thought it was really because we haven't seen it in the films. There's a bit in it where you get like a start. What's it called? Not staff. Double-ended.
Dual wield.
Dual-wield one. No, not dual-wield.
sorry,
It's
not
double-ended,
dual, yeah.
like Darth Maul lightsaber,
Yeah.
which you have seen before. But there was moves in it where you'd be fighting like that, and you could press a certain combo, and it'll split it into two, and then
Oh,
go
class.
mix.
Yeah,
So that
it's
was quite cool. And the customization was quite cool. You could pick whatever colours you wanted, and that. But yeah, 2023. Really looking forward to it.
My God, we need a game on PS4.
Oh, Jesus.
Probably come out on PS4. That's me done.
Cool. I'm going to shoot over you, Con, if you
Yeah. Check out our socials. Check out our socials at Weekly Cut on Instagram and Twitter. We posted, we had the first look of House of the Dragon, some photos, which looked just typical Game of Thrones, didn't it, really?
Did very much
The
so, yeah.
costumes looks very good.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people were saying better than the show, and I sort of understand what they mean. It did look very good.
Just looked like Daenerys and her brother again, though, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Oh, Matt, that wig wasn't very good from Matt Smith.
Yeah.
That did look a very good wig, but yeah, like that Rhys Ifans, he's got the whole Hand of the King logo
Yeah,
and everything,
yeah.
or emblem thing.
Yeah.
But it looks really good.
Yeah, and looks like big, well, it's just like scenic set pieces as opposed to like,
Yeah.
I mean, which is what Game of Thrones done really, wasn't it, back in the day. Also had a look at the Fast 9 behind the scenes video. I haven't watched it because you know my thoughts about Fast 9. So I'll let you.
It was impressive. It was impressive because there's a lot of, obviously there's a high level of CGI in Fast and the Furious. Obviously there's ridiculous things happen, but there was a lot of practical stuff that I didn't think was actually practical from the trailer. You know, the whole bit with the big long lorry slash thing. There was a lot going on with that. Explosions going on.
They were like injecting the cars at the thing. I assume do they then rewind it or something because they had things set up on the side, and then the car would project it like I'm trying to think of the word, but just like this little button. Someone would press a button, the car would just be launched at this thing.
Yeah,
So
I'm
good.
actually watching it now. I shouldn't really watch it on air, but I am.
Why not?
It does look brilliant. These and the fact that all these stunts are proper car stunts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the
the stunt
Last Man
show.
actually. Yeah. So that.
But yeah, no, it was impressive to see, to be fair.
Yeah. Another look, Mission Impossible 7 Tom Cruise on a train. It's just such a weird photo.
It is a very weird photo.
Yeah, it is strange.
There were some great comments to that. Let me just find them, because a lot of them were saying along the lines of Back to the Future 3.
Yeah.
Ethan Hunt in Back to the Future 3. Thomas the Tank Engine, because Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible Back to the Future 3 edition. Is he going on a time espionage with Doc Brown? There was a lot of that. Thomas the Impossible Tank Engine, a lot of it like that.
He just sounds so casual. He just on the side of
it's
it.
just classic.
Yeah.
Another one, Polar Express crossover. Is he off to Hogwarts? It was there was quite some good one.
I cannot wait to see that because it come out again because that was Empire, wasn't it? I think,
yeah.
And in that, he mentioned that stunt again with the motorbike on the cliff. Apparently, that's like by far his most dangerous ever stunt.
Yeah,
Really?
And I can't wait to see that.
But he loved it.
Oh, I bet he did, mate.
But he made it more difficult.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Can you put flames on it? No, we don't.
I don't need wires. Take the wires off me. We're good.
And that's me for general news. We do have some trailers, but do you want to do your news before we get into trailers?
Can do if you want. I've only got 2 or 3 bits, max on DC base. So probably one of the biggest news of the week, which is a massive talking point in comic book movie news at the minute. So it's good to have a little chat about it. And what this is basing around is, we've mentioned it loads of times on this podcast. The most recent one is Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four, where blonde hair, blue eyes in the comics, but it's a black person of colour in the role. And this is all stemming from the new Superman movie. That, again, it's no secret. This has been a thing for some times with J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Productions. I always do that. J.J. Abrams.
Yep.
And it's been in the works for ages, but nobody really knew what it was about, other than they said it will be a black Superman. So, do you remember we had a little to and fro? Is it going to be Calvin Ellis from the comics? Is it going to be Val Zod? Really 2 cool characters.
Yeah.
But what they've confirmed, which broke this week, is that it will be the first portrayal of Kal-El. So it is going to be a black version of Kal-El for the first time ever in history. Before we jump into that, there's some new bits that come out as well. Not only that, Warner Brothers and DC are insistent and definitely going to be hiring a black director. The script should be delivered mid-December, and it will reportedly feature Kal-El coming to Earth from Krypton again. And the film, this is the bit that confused me, the film will not be connected to the current DC universe.
Right.
There's so much to unpack here.
Yeah.
But what I want to know first from you two, do you like that idea, yes or no?
No, I don't. Quite honest.
No, it's
That's renowned from everyone. I
yeah.
believe.
It's just such a strange decision when they've got a black Superman character.
Yeah.
Do that, because obviously that character has fans from the comics, and he's still going in the comics now. So you don't like. There's certain characters that you can change.
Yeah.
But Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, whatever,
the iconic
heroes from comics from 50, 60 years ago, whatever, don't change them.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got Miles Morales as Spider-Man. They didn't try to do
wildly
Peter
popular,
Parker. Yeah. Didn't do Peter Parker.
Yeah.
As it. Then you have the Calvin Ellis one which was rumoured about Michael B. Jordan doing that ages ago. Do that.
Yeah.
And then to make this is another thing with DC, to make another film that's now not connected to their main.
Yeah.
Why?
See, the thing with this topic is so hard to discuss it without someone trying to cancel you or call you
No,
it is
racist
extremely
or
hard.
just going in at you.
And you're a person of colour, and you still feel like that.
Exactly. I just think like when they're out saying we're going to make this film, which is already established, we've got Henry Cavill, blah blah blah, fantastic, and say right, we're going to make a black version of this now, and the fact that they said we're hiring a black director, as well, that's just like, you're doing this to tick boxes. That's the only reason you're doing it. You're ticking boxes.
Why does a black director need to be cast to do a black Superman
Surely
film?
it's just the best, whoever's got the best role. So it's been written by that Ta-Nehisi Coates. So surely he would write the script and they would go out and go, right, now let's find a director. Why would you have to insist before the script's even written and finished? Why? It's nope. As you said, it's a ticking
This is very much a Marvel Black Panther thing. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Black superhero. Obviously, they haven't changed the colour of the skin with that character, but then they They went get a black director Ryan Coogler. Let's get black production team. Let's get literally everyone involved was back, which is no problem at all. I just find it a bit weird that they have to go down that route.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah.
Like, if you've got characters there who are already black and established, do them. There's no point in
That's
doing
the big
this.
issue where people are because it's such a good. We broke down. I think most people would probably prefer that Calvin Ellis, but that Val Zod character that people love is such a good. It's Zod's son.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really cool character, and it's just really strange, as you say, when they've got the characters. So for them to ignore that, they obviously clearly want to change and tick boxes and stuff like that, which is a shame because it shouldn't be that. And also, this was broke on Henry Cavill's birthday.
Yeah.
Which is just strange.
Then they did back up this news with saying that Henry Cavill is still going to be Superman.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh,
Yeah, so he's still about.
Right.
Not confirmed that he's going to be. There's a new Superman film happening, but he is still there, Superman. So this is why they're saying this is separate.
I just don't see why they would. Yeah, so this is just going to be like Joker then in Elseworlds, whatever DC call it.
Yeah.
And you'll have Henry Cavill with the Justice League, whatever's going to happen with that. And then this is just going to be a version of Kal-El then for absolutely no reason, just its own entity. That's their plan then.
That's quite a slap in the face to like the minority as well, like people of colour. It's like, we'll make this film with this iconic character. We're going to make it, but it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's not counting towards anything, but we'll make it anyway, just to keep everyone happy. But the thing is, when it comes out, I think personally it will fall flat because it's already people are already going into it thinking, well, this is not Superman. We know it's not Superman. The world knows it's not Superman. So it's going to fail immediately.
I don't think this is going to be made. I know they're saying it is, but the amount of people who's come back, and it isn't just the white population come back at it.
Yeah,
it's every person has gone back at it and said this is just silly. But like the thing, when they replaced Johnny Storm in that fucking god awful Fantastic Four film with Michael B. Jordan, that wasn't the weirdest part that they changed him. The weirdest part is that they didn't. The sister wasn't. The sister was still white. Was it Kate Mara, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was still white, and then they changed the complete origin because they were actually just stepchildren, stepbrother and sister. Which so they just fucked. I mean, that film was doomed anyway. But it was weird to do it that way. But this one is like a full-on change of character. Same origin they're going to show, which I don't think
it's going to be coming to from Krypton to
which
Earth.
I don't think we need to see again. It's very much like the Spider-Man, Batman stuff, and that you don't need to see that again.
Yeah.
Unless it's some big thing that they're going to show because it's a black Superman.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand with Hollywood because it's like they'll never go the other way. They'll always go one way. So they'll change a white man character to a black man or a Hispanic man or a woman. But they'll never go the other way. If Hollywood come in and said, right, we're going to make Legally Blonde again, but this time it's going to be a white man, everyone will kick off. People will kick off. But if it went the other way, like Spider-Man's going to be a girl, so Spider-Girl, it was like, everyone will be like, look, brilliant, girl power, blah, blah, blah. It never goes the other way, does it?
Yeah.
It's a problem.
It'd be like them rebooting Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow as a black man.
Yeah. Well, imagine casting Black Panther as a white man.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would not go down. Like, people would not have that at all.
But it's the same, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's exactly,
It is
the same.
exactly the same. It's a very well-known character in the comics that people only see as a black African, as you should, because that's the comic. So how could anyone see a black... And this is the thing, like, obviously, I look nothing like Clark Kent. So it's nothing to do with white for me.
No,
Do you know
exactly.
what I mean? Literally, you look more, Con, as a mixed race man, you look more like Clark Kent than I do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, so I don't look at Clark Kent, the tall, dark hair and stuff like with the glasses, and think, I can see myself as that. Never once ever thought that in my life. And I'm sure most people don't. It's because it's iconic, as Craig said. It's what you see.
That's right. But like the whole thing when Black Panther was released and was being made in that was to inspire like people of colour as a hero they can look up to, and it was African and everything like that. So it was like, this is a cool African character, a bit like if they did Storm, anything where they eventually get married.
Yeah,
not now. Yeah, obviously because of tragedy with Chadwick Boseman. But this changing an iconic hero to a black guy is not going to make like black teenagers or whatever look at that and go, oh yeah, no, that's really good. It's inspired me now.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
I think Warner Brothers are just stupid. They
Oh,
just seem to
I
just.
think I say that every week.
They just fuck up every single time. It's like they've done this wrong, done that wrong. Now they're doing this, and you think, oh, stop.
They have such cool characters as well, and it's so frustrating.
But you're gonna. I mean, you might want to move on to
This is a good segue.
the Green Lantern thing now.
So this is a character that we should be getting, and we should have had already by now. A cool black comic character that everyone wants to see. So this is good news from Warner Brothers. I'll give them that, but it's just a bit late. So the news is anyway that we've got our HBO Max series Lantern Corps that we've spoke about, and the Guy Gardner and all that. But the Warner Brothers are reportedly moving ahead with a Green Lantern film based around the character John Stewart, who will be the lead. Hal Jordan is reported to be involved as well in a mentor role, and there's no casting or anything like that. But this is just good news, straight up, because I mean it's the horrible bit at the minute. I can't remember. I think it's Wayne T. Carr was the actor that should have been in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I don't know if he's going to be involved because he looks very good as John Stewart from the concept art and that. But yeah, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't confess to know a lot about Green Lantern, but that would excite me. That would make me want to watch.
Yeah. But my point from the segue from that last one is that they've chose a Green Lantern who's black.
Yeah.
To be played by... They haven't played by a black actor.
Yeah.
They haven't gone... We're doing Hal Jordan
Yeah.
and we're casting him black.
Yeah.
So that's what my point is with the Superman. They have the character
Same
there.
thing. You're
Just
right.
use
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Very...
And give us new characters. I want to see new characters.
Yes.
I don't want to see same old.
Yes.
Why do I have to see
new.
Clark Kent, but he's a different bloody skin colour?
Exactly.
Why have we got to see
Exactly. And that's the annoying thing. The amount of characters they've got, DC, just someone needs to, as we've always said, get someone in who knows it and just go through their roster of characters and do it. It's just...
DC just Warner Brothers just seem more like I know they're all businesses, like Marvel and Disney as well, but you can see when you go to the Marvel side with Kevin Feige, he's a fan.
Yeah.
He's a fan of it, knows the comics, knows what to talk about. People could ask him questions in the interview and he'll come. You won't have to refer to someone else. He knows the comic side of it. They just don't have that. Warner Brothers just do not have that.
I think Looney Tunes live action, isn't it? With Warner Brothers.
On the road. Right. The last bit of DC news, which is another good talking point, to be fair, because there's no right or wrong. It's just you can see sort of reasons from both sides, but Craig's wrong. Right. So the good news is that it was always, again, just like the news of the sequel for Eternals, it's most likely was in the works. Not in the works, but it's most likely an idea of it anyway.
Yeah.
So there's no surprise here that the Joker, when it originally came out and was a massive success in 2019 with Joaquin Phoenix, they had in early development for a sequel, and that's broke this week that it's very much still in the works and it's going ahead.
Yeah.
So just to round off the question, let's go with Craig, because we do know, but we've not really spoke in depth about it.
Yeah.
So Craig, give us your thoughts on that.
Okay, well, it's not just me, because I've just pulled up the comments from our post as well. No, don't get me wrong. That Joker film, was it 2019 on it? It was fantastic. I can't pick anything wrong with it. Really, really good film. Joaquin Phoenix was amazing. I just think when it's a film like that was near on perfect. I know it sort of was set up for the sequel, because then he becomes the Joker at the end, and it even goes and shows Batman's mum and dad being killed or whatever right at the very end. But I don't. If they're keeping it separate anyway, I don't think you need a sequel to it. Like, it'll only tarnish and ruin what we've already had. I'm all for it, to see it. Don't get me wrong, I'll go opening day and go watch it, but it's just unnecessary. I just don't think it's needed. And can also add to the argument, your brother, who is probably one of the biggest Joker fans,
without question,
one of his favourite films ever, also said the same.
He did, yeah.
He doesn't want to see a sequel.
But I don't understand the point of a film will tarnish it, the first one. Why does the second film have an effect on it? If a film's a 10 out of 10, in my opinion, it's a 10 out of 10. If number 2 come out, I'm not going to go back and say, well, that's now an 8 out of 10.
No, I think the whole idea of tarnishing it is not just me saying this as well, but this is my point.
Yeah.
The whole idea of tarnishing it is because once you then make a sequel, which will obviously directly pick up from where the first one left off, then it becomes one story. Do you know what I mean? I know it's 2 separate films, but it becomes one story. And if the second half, let's say they only did one sequel, the second half of the story is crap, then the overall story for me is tarnished from it. I'm not saying the film, because it's not going to change what the first film was. The first film was near on perfect. I'm not saying that, but I just think if it's a continuation and it's almost a 2-parter, if you're doing only one sequel, then it just does sort of ruin it.
So is it you're worried in faith of the directors or the Todd Phillips or the story of Joker? I'm just trying to wrap my head around because I'm with you. I'm on your.
I just think that come out, and because before it come out, there was no expectation. Everyone was moaning about it before it came out because they didn't want a Joker origin, because in the comics, it's famously he doesn't have an origin, and the whole Arthur Fleck thing come out, and even after it, they were saying, "Oh, this isn't the actual Joker, but may inspire, the classic Joker from the actions of the whole clown, riots and stuff." But then it come out, and it was such a surprise how good it was. People loved it. That was off of the back of not expecting much from it. You make a second one now, I mean, you think it's perfect. And, and for me, it is near on perfect.
I agree. I think it's perfect. Yeah.
You bring a second one out now, that's got the second one would have such high expectations around it that I just don't think it would be able to deliver. On any level, I don't think it would be able to deliver.
That I can understand to that point where the bar now is incredibly high. But I just think that so basically the way it comes across to me, and I think Connor as well, when people say this, is that it's like, oh well, it's the film's fault for being so good that you can't see any more now.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes across like that, but it should be that was a fantastic film. Joaquin Phoenix is perfect as the Joker. Todd Phillips top draw.
Yeah,
he's and I sort of understand maybe with things like Inception, which is a good example, but that story's been done. You had a start, a middle, and an end. With something like a comic book character of Joker's stature, there is so much story to tell and ways you could go. I just feel like if you've got the perfect actor as Joaquin Phoenix, who absolutely excelled in the role, Todd Phillips that seems to absolutely know exactly what to do in this weird world of Gotham at the minute, in this Elseworlds, I just think 100%. I cannot see why people would wouldn't want to see, because I know you do want to see it.
Yeah, no, I do.
I cannot see why it would tarnish that film, even if it wasn't as good. Yeah. I just think that was brilliant. I want to see more. It most likely would be a good film.
Well, take, for example, A Quiet Place.
Yes.
Fantastic film, right? All loved it. We've got A Quiet Place 2. Everyone's hyped for number 2. Why is it different to Joker? I don't understand what the difference is.
Because I don't know really. Quiet Place was great. It was good. Don't get me wrong. It's not a perfect film. It was tense and whatever. And I am looking forward to sequel, but there's not.
It was a very good film.
But that's not. A Quiet Place is something new-ish, not in the horror sort of market, because sort of almost done. These things have been done before. A blind or deaf monster or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this Joker's it was different. Joker is an established character who, when they got a comedy director on board to play it, Joaquin Phoenix, which always seemed like a good choice because he's a bit weird anyway.
Yeah.
But that that's an established character we've seen on TV and film for years and years and years, and comics and that. And the fact that was so good and made because it's a bit like, okay, for example, right, the Joker film before it come out, everyone thought, how can you do this without Batman? Right, they did it really well.
Yeah.
Venom comes out. We'll talk about the second one in a bit, but Venom, the first one, comes out. How'd you do that about Spider-Man? Turns out you don't. It was a bit of a mess.
Yeah, but we're getting number 2.
Yeah, and I ain't excited for that either.
Yeah.
We'll get on to that in a minute. But the point is, the Joker is such an iconic character, and they did it so well, justice so well. Where do you go next? Do you not have to incorporate Batman in the sequel?
You can carry on his story of just becoming Joker, and then you can, if it's not a part of anything, then you can make your own story of him, the rise of the Joker.
And as you said, this Arthur Fleck's not been done before.
No, yeah.
So I don't think you do. I agree with the fact that you should inevitably have Batman with Joker, because they're like two sides of you should always have them meet. But in this world that's been created now, which was a complete surprise, which I agree with, I would love to see what happens now in terms of Arthur Fleck. Does he become, which that would be the only way it would go to be intriguing. If he does, he does become, at the end, he kills that nurse and walks off laughing with blood on.
Yeah.
So to see him now become that, and I'm not saying he has to become the clown prince of crime and all that and be the funny, but to see him become something that he now believes he is, I would be, in that world that's been created now, I would be all for that. I'd be so hyped if that was...
Yeah.
Well, it is coming, but I'm very hyped for that. But I do get the fact that now it's got massive pressure, and which it didn't have before, so it might be a little bit of a letdown, that film. But I would never take away from anything from that film, regardless of what I personally get coming up.
Yeah.
But I do understand people's.
The only thing I mean is if they make a second one, and let's face it, it's not going to be as good. It won't be as good.
You don't know that,
Maybe.
but yeah, it most likely because it was so perfect.
Yeah,
it's
and
most
also
likely
the
not.
first one didn't have expectations. In fact, people didn't really want it made. People were really angry that Joker was getting an origin, Arthur Fleck, which wasn't a name from the comics or whatever. So it was so good that people, loved it for that reason. It's unsurprising. This one has to be good. Like the expectation around it would have to be good. I don't think it would actually match up to what people would think now.
I think Joker 1 did have expectations because I think comic book fans and comic movie fans are the most difficult to please because if there's something from the comics, they'll say, if you don't do this right, you're done. It's that mindset.
Especially DC around that time in 2019.
Yeah. So I think that they had a lot of pressure to make that, especially when you got Heath Ledger's
No,
Joker.
there was pressure on getting it right. I'm saying fan expectations wasn't there. A lot of fans didn't want it made because it didn't make sense in the comic universe, and that just doesn't make sense because it's never been done in the comics. Joker doesn't have an origin, or he has lies about different origins, a bit like Heath Ledger's Joker, where he just tells different versions of events. But yeah, I just think it just. I think if you do a sequel, it'd have to be not a story of him just being mental still and carrying on, because he's sort of that whole point of the first one was he already got to that goal of like making people notice him and whatever. And at the end of it, he was noticed. Now you need an opposing force to stop this happening. So without Batman or I don't know some other hero, maybe even an original hero or something like an old, because Batman's obviously a kid in this. So unless you go down that route, I just don't think there's much room for. I would like to see. It's hard to explain. I would like to see him carry on being this. Now he's in charge of maybe like a group of other clowns or whatever, writing and stuff like that. But I think that story's done. So where'd you go now without someone trying to stop him?
Well, Todd Phillips will tell us.
Can we? But like I said, don't get me wrong. I will go see it. I will 100% see it. But let's go through some comments. So I'll just run through them quick. Won't name them. So first comment, I'll just go comment by comment quickly. No, what the fuck? Can't wait. One was enough. Why? Don't want it. Honestly, Warner Brothers only cares about money, which could be a thing because this is one of the highest profiteering films ever. 'Cause I think it was made on 40 million, something like that. Let's go. I was waiting for this news. Why ruin it? Unnecessary. Why? God, no. Why? That's literally a cash grab. No, no thanks. What a shame. No, please, no. Best movie ever. Can't wait. The little hands up emojis. No, nobody asked for this shit. Instead, they could have focused more on DCEU, which fair.
Yeah.
Loads of thumbs downs. Happy faces. That's cool. And all, but we want the Jared Leto Joker. No one wants that.
I was just about to say, a lot of these sound like Zack Snyder Justice League fans.
Yeah.
Someone said, I want it, intrigued. I'm not going to judge you for seeing anything. Fair comment. Bet you it's trash. Someone just said fake. And then someone plugged a Bitcoin.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, what you've got to remember is a lot of these people think the Venom trailer is very good, which we'll get onto in a minute. So you can't.
I've got the poll that we will look at. I haven't looked at it in a while, so we'll see at the end of it.
Live announcement. Yeah. So that's fair enough. So it's very divided. So it'll be a very good film to wait for and anticipate for to see what happens.
Yeah.
And if it works.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Move on to trailers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Protect your eardrums. Should warn you. Should we go straight to the big one that released today, Monday, as we're recording? Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. We tried our hardest to reserve our judgment till the pod, but we just couldn't. So, Craig, I'm going straight to you on your thoughts.
That trailer was fucking trash. It was, oh, Jesus. That was, can we firstly actually say, do you like the first one?
I did like it.
It was okay. I wasn't a massive fan.
I had a massive problem because there's no Spider-Man. Venom just doesn't work. And then the whole ending of it was just a literal like mash of liquids. Just you couldn't really see what was going on.
Yeah.
And it was just a bit meh. It was okay. Tom Hardy was all right. But this one, I mean, it teased Carnage at the end of the last one. Carnage is like a fan favourite. You have Venom and Carnage. But then it's the old story about Venom's the anti-hero, teams up with Spider-Man in the end to fight Carnage. Carnage is the overall villain.
Yeah.
'Cause he's mental. And I just don't think this will work either. And for me, I knew the first 10 seconds of that was just ruined the rest of me.
Yep.
Venom making breakfast and singing a song, and this is not the character. It's just not the character. Someone else go.
Yeah, they lost me when Venom said ketchup instead of ketchup and squirted the ball. Lost me immediately. I was like, this is not for me. And then when it went into the shop and just the wise cracks and the jokes, this is not a bit of me. Maybe this because it's the first trailer. The second one will get a bit more action because we didn't really get that much. But this is not my cup of tea.
Don't get me wrong, I do not love this. I don't think I hated it as much as used to by the sounds of it. But the first minute I was terrible.
Yeah.
For the first minute. That's not Venom, as Craig said. Really isn't. It's really hard and frustrating to hear that voice and make the jokes and stuff. It is very hard to see. But when it sort of did Carnage come into it a little bit, and you had Woody Harrelson sort of doing the voiceover and stuff about chaos, I was a little bit more intrigued. Again, I'm not saying I love it.
Yeah, no,
I'm not saying I love it. But when the minute marker went and it started going into and showing Eddie Brock looking, because it looks like everyone knows that Cassius K. What's his name?
Cletus Cassidy.
That's it, Cletus Cassidy. Everyone knows the story of a serial killer, etc. And it looks like Eddie, from what I've seen online as well, it looks like Eddie's trying to find the victims that he knows the whereabouts to, and he's not telling.
Yeah.
Which is why Stephen Graham's character scrunches up the paper, and I think the front line is like, where's the victims or something. So I was a little bit more intrigued when all that started coming in.
Yeah.
And Carnage, we'll get onto that as well, I thought looked brilliant personally.
He looked fantastic.
That's exactly
Yeah.
when
Agree
I
with that,
think of Carnage from a kid and stuff, that was perfect. But yeah, that first minute was one of the worst minutes of a trailer I think I've watched.
The first 10 seconds of the breakfast, it was really cringy. Like I found myself cringing at it. That was awful.
But when,
I was going to say the character from the first one. Well, he was a bit of a div towards the end of it anyway. But the character from the first one was still not Venom. But this, like what Connor said about mispronouncing ketchup and stuff, it seems like it turned into a toddler.
Yeah.
In this, and he was like a bit of a child.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is that's not it. Venom should be this overpowering huge monster, which to be fair, it does that happens, and it was in the first film. But the actual character is not correct. It seems like I've just continued down that road in this one, and it's just no.
It shouldn't be that hard, like exactly what Craig's saying. It shouldn't be that hard for Eddie. No, it should be harder, for Eddie to sort of make him understand Venom. Venom's supposed to be literally, I just want to eat humans, just angry and frustration and not carnage, but chaos and whatever. That's the symbiote. That's what he is. But he's found a host, and they have an understanding, which they're trying to show, and they did in the first one. But the way they're showing it is awful.
Yeah.
So bad.
You don't need to do it. I think it's almost an insult on the audience doing
complete
that.
and utter
Oh, don't worry, I'll make your breakfast for you with all these little tentacles coming out.
Yeah.
I never saw this in the comics. I never saw this in the animated shows. What is this?
It's like they've gone, the Sony and Marvel, Sony, sorry. It's like they've gone, look, I know it was going to, because it was originally going to be R-rated, wasn't it, the first one? It's like they've gone, look, we're not doing that. We want all families to be involved. So we're going to
it's we want money.
Yeah, we want money. So we want everyone to be able to watch it, and we want to do it like this so that it's got that comedic factor in and funny, and it's not people like us that want to watch movies about a serial killer, mate. Make it dark. Don't want that stuff. But that minute was bad.
I perked up of a positive to take out of this. Stephen Graham looked brilliant, even just because I love him anyway.
He's a bit of a fan favourite on this.
Woody Harrelson, really good.
They got rid of his perm.
Yeah.
Like, everyone ripped it, but stick with it. But anyway, sorry, go.
The hair after that didn't look great, but it looks better.
And like you said, Carnage looked brilliant. He just looked like an absolute animal.
Yeah, which is
as well.
Right. That's exactly what it should be like, because the symbiote takes over. You know what the host is.
Oh, it's a super soldier serum when I read.
No, well, along them lines.
I know.
But Cletus Cassidy should be a maniacal, blood-hungry killer. Yeah. Killer. So it would make sense that Venom's like that. Carnage is like that. And what they did show in this trailer, which is like from the comics, is the Carnage symbiote makes weapons. Like there was like arrows and like blades and stuff, which is quite cool. Venom doesn't do that. Carnage does. So that was quite good.
Yeah.
The only thing I said to you in the chat was that from this trailer, you don't get a sense of the size of Carnage. And because basically in the comics, obviously, Venom's this big hulking monster, almost Hulk size sort of thing. And Venom and Carnage is that quite small, really skinny, more agile, whatever, uses the tentacles and weapons a lot more than just being a big thing. And what I'm concerned about is, because I can already see it's happening, the end fight of this is just going to be another mush of
Blobs.
liquids
Yeah.
just hitting each other, and which I don't see how. The only way you don't do that is you include a character like Spider-Man who isn't the same. Do you know what I mean? Because then you have something different to fight against.
Yeah.
But whatever. Carnage looks good. That's my only positive from this.
Yeah.
That's it.
I didn't know she was in it, that Naomi Harris, as a Shriek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know she was in
Yeah, I
this.
didn't know that.
No. But yeah, one thing to mention as well. So, you know the Daily Bugle thing?
I had
Oh,
this
sorry.
screenshot.
No, you say it. Go on, you go.
So the Daily Bugle is the same Daily Bugle symbol and font and everything as the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, which is odd.
Very odd.
Yeah.
However, because I forgot, and we'll mention it to you today, Andy Serkis is directing this, which is odd.
Yeah.
But he's been asked now, obviously, every time something Venom comes up, is Spider-Man in it? Is it, part of the same universe or anything? He come out and said that Venom and Carnage in this are completely unaware of Spider-Man's existence. The Venom story is in his own world. They're unaware at this point of other characters like Spider-Man and will not feature, which is fine because I wouldn't actually want it in this. So I don't want that associated. Doesn't look good. But it's weird that it's the same symbol and look as the J. Jonah Jameson Daily Bugle, and it's the same paper.
And even there's a headline in it. Did you see the headline?
The Avenger thing.
It says, looks like it's the word Avengers.
Well,
it's
I think
Ngers. And
Yeah,
it's a headline.
so a
Surely
lot
it's
of-
Avengers.
Yeah.
a lot of people were saying that, but then I was like, I read it first and went, okay, hell yeah, this could be connected or something like that, because they love throwing these things out. But then people in the comments just started listing off all words it could be. So it was like passengers. What was the other one? I can't remember now, but it was loads of them. It's like, this could be anything really.
Yeah.
But you have to pause it in a very specific frame to
People were
see
so on it.
to
They're
see
so
that.
brilliant. I love it.
But yeah, it's just a weird coincidence. But then they've said that Morbius, Jared Leto's Morbius, is in this universe, and then you had Michael Keaton, who was Vulture in Spider-Man, turn up at the end of that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this? I don't know.
It's a mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite like the final fight would be.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. Should we have a little palate cleanser and talk about the Stranger Things?
Hang on, we need to look at the live poll.
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
So we put our poll asking quite simply: is it fire or is it poo? This comment. So let's see. I haven't checked it in a while. I passed it. So 85% of it voted it fire. This trailer, absolute fire.
I don't understand it.
It's very. Let me see the actual vote. So there was 1,272 voted fire, and 49 said it was shite.
I don't know.
Definitely not fire.
It's not fire.
It's not fire.
Absolutely not fire.
It looked whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. September 24th, I think it comes out.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So we've got a teaser of Stranger Things come out. I'll give you my opinion straight away. I'm really excited for this. I love Stranger Things.
I do.
And I think the tweet, I think you mentioned it. It was like 193,000 likes on their
Crazy.
tweet.
In an hour.
Yeah, in an hour.
Yeah.
So you forget how big this fan base is.
Oh yeah.
But it seems like they're going back to basics, back to 11 and her story, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
I thought they'd go to Russia, and they probably will.
Yeah, it's got a feature in it somehow.
I have
hasn't it?
no idea what's going on.
No.
Well, it looks like they've
We've
created a load of
we've
super
seen-
kids.
Yeah, but we know that, and we've seen that.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name now, but the one that had that had the powers.
Yeah. Yeah. I
that
can't-
she met in season 2.
Yeah.
The Asian girl. Mm-hmm. I think it was 8. I think she was number 8 or whatever. But we've seen Papa and the origin of Papa and her and 11 in the robe and how she became to be. So I don't really know I have no idea what's going on.
No.
But
Absolutely
that
no idea.
is what a good teaser is.
Very true. Yeah.
That's what makes a good
true.
teaser.
I don't know how they can go back in time because you can see it in her eyes. She already looks older.
Yeah. I don't think that's part of the same bit.
I don't think that's. I think that's in her head. I think someone's.
You know, when you focus on the 11 door,
Yeah.
and it goes to her.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's just now.
Oh, I see.
I don't think that's teaser whatever. It's not. I don't think that's a one whole segment. Do you know what I mean?
Are they setting us up for just let loose of all 11s? And she's got to battle the 11s. I don't know, because I love the Upside Down, but it can't be that anymore, really, can it?
I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember how the last one ended.
He blew himself up, didn't he? Spoilers.
Oh, that big generator thing
yeah,
that opened
but
up. Yeah.
shut
Sorry,
it,
yeah.
I think he's in a
it's not.
prison. Yeah.
Because the Russians have got a demigorgon, didn't they? Or whatever it is in the thingy.
Oh,
So
in the cage bit at the end. Yeah.
So I think the Upside Down will feature again. Apparently, it's gonna. What I've read about, I can't remember. I don't think it was official synopsis. What I'm seeing online, it's going to be about it's going to be reopened and stuff by these bloody Russians. They're always at fault.
Always.
But yeah, and we're going to probably see the other kids on all the different numbers, because you saw all the numbers, didn't they, with the ball and that.
Yeah.
And I just hope we don't get. I don't think we're getting. I think she might be being like mind controlled to someone who wants an answer or something, some information from her.
Yeah.
And that's what we're getting, because we can't go through that again, because everyone knows the origin of 11. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm the same as you. This is one of my favourite shows. I love everything about Stranger
No
Things.
release date though at the end of it.
No, it's usually Halloween.
Yeah, it's around about October. Well, the last one, it was around Independence Day, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it was. Sorry. Yeah.
Back off, you fake fan.
Yeah, I am.
No, but it is usually Halloween
Yeah.
timing. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. Can't wait to see it again.
Just to mention on Stranger Things, I went to the Secret Cinema in London of Stranger Things. It was fantastic.
Was it?
Really, really good. I hope they do it again, because I do redo them sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's fucking brilliant.
I would like to go to that one. But the one of the things we've all done it, haven't we? The Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
Stranger Things made as
Stag
well.
do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. It was when is Stag Do?
Oh, it's Jay's thing.
Oh, sorry, Jay's
Yeah.
Stag do.
Yeah,
apologies,
yeah.
yeah.
he's getting one in Blackpool. But
Set of Andor.
but yeah, no, that's good. When you go through the Upside Down, they've got like the foam. It was like the ash coming out.
Yeah.
So, like you said, the fan base is huge.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it.
Moving on to quite a big trailer. I was quite anticipated as well. Quiet Place 2. It's a straight. I'll give you my thoughts again straight away. A stark difference to number one. Even the volume of it, the explosions sounded louder, the screams sound louder, and then I like when it just cuts to silence again.
Yeah.
And it was quite sad seeing John in the beginning.
So we get to see how it, I guess, starts.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Which you didn't really get from the first
Only
one.
way you can have him in the film.
Yeah, go back.
Yeah, so they're going to show flashbacks, which I like flashbacks when it's done right.
Yeah.
So, which I think they'll.
I
do
want to
quite
see
well.
it go to shit though.
Yeah.
Because the first one, it was just they was in the shit.
They
Do
wanted
you
to-
know what I
and they
mean?
knew what to do and stuff.
Yeah.
I want people going, they're getting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're getting attacked, which seemingly happens.
It does look tense again,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the first one. All the quotes that are coming up saying a worthy sequel, thrilling again, and whatever. And
I
really. When is that? That's soon. It's
May 28th, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing the rocket
Yeah.
on the shelf.
little bitch.
Really annoying.
That was one of the most frustrating moments
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
What'd you do that for? Surely she knows.
Yeah.
She knew at that point as well. She's been
They're
living
walking
this
on
life for a
sand.
while. Exactly.
They make no noise.
She's been living this life for a
Yeah.
while.
I hate kids in films.
Yeah, always seems-
hate them.
They're always a nuisance.
Yeah.
They're always causing problems.
Yeah. So the bits when they're in the road and the car's coming, just look at the car.
Yeah.
I'll just go.
Just move, would you?
But Cillian, I'm looking for Cillian Murphy, is he?
Yeah.
He's just looks like the co-star, I think.
Yeah.
And old Digimon Honsu.
He's everywhere, and he's always good. Looks like he gets clarted freshly underneath that garage door, whatever it was. But yeah, I'm really excited for this, and I think we're going to get it different, more action, more tense in a different way. We're still going to get the old moments like this, the water, not waterfall, but the water bit where she's being quiet and it comes through the water. You're still going to get moments like
And even
that.
that bit at the end where she tries to shut the
Oh, and it
door, it
closes
looks
the
like
door.
he grabs
Yeah.
it open, doesn't it? It's going to be because that bit from the first one when she's having the baby.
my God.
That is tense as you like.
That probably
Fantastic
is one
bit
of
though.
the most tense moments
Yeah.
I've seen in a film.
Yeah.
That was it was ridiculous. I could hear myself breathing in the cinema.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I never saw it in cinema. I
do you not?
watched it. I watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, I
a
saw
year
it.
ago. Or
I
something.
watched it on an airplane.
It was a nightmare to watch. I watched it with Sean.
Oh, did you?
And it was a nightmare because we had obviously popcorn and that. Couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
No, when a film is very silent, you can't
It's
just go.
beyond the joke. It was the whole way through, wasn't
Yeah.
it? So literally I was like, and I was trying to soften it in my mouth
Yeah.
so I could then eat it. It was a horrendous experience.
There's a lot. It looks like a lot more talking in this one because a lot of it was sign language and stuff
Yeah.
in it. The first
Yeah.
one, so yeah, it looks like a good advancement for a sequel.
And we see the monsters more as well,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah, fucking their big long arms.
Wild, didn't they?
When it busts through that thing, it's like there's a proper gangrene in it.
Oh, creep me out. But he's good, old John Krasinski. He's got he's doing well in terms of his like directorial move and stuff. So fair play to him.
Stock is high.
Yeah,
Stock is
extremely.
high.
Yeah, they've a little bit of controversy actually on that. You know, for their power couple of Emily Blunt and John Krasinski.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't think it's not gone through like legal proceedings or anything yet, but I think it's close to. Basically, Paramount, they're supposed to get a certain amount of money they're owed for this film. Them two, but something along the lines of because they want it released this time. John Krasinski's come out and said no one's going to feel ready to go out yet, and the fact that you're only running it for 45 days before it goes on. Remember, it goes on Paramount Plus
yeah.
after 45 days. So he's like, no, most people are going to just wait and go and watch it on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So that's going to affect the box office, which will affect our money and stuff. So they're in a bit of a...
Is that why the trailer? Because the trailer said like built for cinemas or
Yeah.
something. And it said only in red in cinemas.
John Krasinski's put that in.
He's probably done that.
They
yeah.
both are not... It was a full story in Hollywood Report. They're not happy with how
I wouldn't be either.
No.
It's very much like Tenet when that come out. It was forced to come out,
Yeah.
so people could see it in cinemas or whatever. And that was at the height
Yeah.
of the pandemic.
Yeah.
and it never did well. I think it's doing quite well in DVDs and home release and stuff now. But yeah, it is. I mean, we're going to get to see it because our cinemas open next Monday.
Yeah.
So
Can't wait.
I'm looking forward to seeing that at cinema.
But yeah, imagine getting told that. Imagine you being John Krasinski, and then they go, "Yeah, we need to boost our Paramount Plus streaming service, so we're actually going to put your film on there after 45 days."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "No,
No, you're not. Yeah.
yeah." So whether they're going to get a big payout, probably. So yeah. But anyway, just for
That would be I just thought of it. That would be a great horror maze like literally. You know, like the horror maze in Universal is always loud.
Yeah.
To have it completely different, where it's just completely silent.
soundproof shit.
Yeah, and
Oh.
you have to walk through like really silently, and then like imagine you was walking through a horror maze and it was dead silence. All of a sudden, the fingers just jumps out.
You see that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be good.
Fucking great idea, Greg.
I'll talk to Universal. See what we can do.
Yeah, that's trailers.
These shows, yeah.
Right, so now we're going to go into our top 5 best characters ever in movies and TV. Just to say, if you're joining us just from YouTube, this will be a standalone video as well, welcome. You've missed a pretty good pod episode, so go back and listen to the pod as well on
listen.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, everywhere, Spotify. So go listen, like and subscribe as well, please.
Nice.
Shall we go just kick it straight off?
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to do one each? We'll go one each
Like
we did
we've done with
the film. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Caveat from me, like I said, I've said it to you, but caveat for listeners. Yes, mine are not. Most of them are not iconic, but this is just ours.
Yeah, this
right?
is-
So
this is
like
our 5 personal.
What character do you love and just adore from TV and film that is in your top 5 favourite?
Yeah.
And then what we're going to do, we're going to try and come together and agree a 5 that just tick all the boxes.
Yeah.
Like Warner Brothers.
There's a few little rows last time.
Yeah.
Some got left out, Rocky. And but yeah, that's
That was a disgrace that I just had. I'm not going to go into it. Disgrace.
Go, Cardi. Start us off.
All right, I'll go first. No order. I'm just going to say them. I'll go number 1. I'm going to go David Brent.
Oh, okay.
The Office UK. For American listeners, The Office with Michael Scott was not the first one. It was The Office UK, which is the best one. But it's different to The Office US.
Completely different.
Very
But
different, yeah.
David Brent is just iconic.
I agree.
It's just flawless.
For our whole lives in British humour and stuff, David Brent moments will always be quoted and stuff.
Yeah.
And
our
I
lives.
think as well, especially from the English side of it, is that everyone has had a supervisor or manager, not to the extent of him, the
Yeah.
way he acted and how he's portrayed, but along them lines.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So it's quite close to home.
Yeah, and he's I love him.
I like it.
Yeah.
Want me to go next? I'm going to get this one out of the way because just going to have to say it.
Go on.
Darth Vader. He has to be there. He's
Yeah.
not, obviously, we're not doing what we all think is iconic, but like favourite. And he is my iconic villain from even when we take into account the prequels, Anakin Anakin's a great character. Then to Vader, and then the legacy after that, and even to the point with Rogue One that come out, there was no mention of Vader going to be in it, and then he had possibly the best scene in the whole film, and for that character that was ever put on film, and people just loved it, and he's just an icon.
I think he's one of the best villains ever.
Yeah, he has to.
Oh yeah, it's completely up there, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'll get my one out of the way. This is
I'm excited for Brad's one.
This one isn't a surprise because we all know what my favourite non-fictional character is, don't we? So straight out of the bat, Wolverine.
Yeah.
Reasons for, just regardless of how perfect, I think unanimously people think Hugh Jackman was, just the character alone. I've said it. I don't think there's anything cooler than him. I just don't. Logan or James Howlett, whatever. He's a fucking immortal geezer with adamantium skeleton. Just love it. I just think I could watch it all day. And Logan, I was so glad they got Logan, one of my favourite comic book movies of all time and will always be. And just think it's top drawer. Oh God, I love it.
Have you watched that in Noir? The Logan?
Yes, yeah.
Is it better?
I don't really. I'm not that articulate. I'm not that artistic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed some moments were brilliant in Noir. Most of the time, though, if I'm honest, I just wanted to see colour.
Yeah.
That it's a fair comment. Actually, can I just say, we had the conversation in the people just listening to this bit. We had the conversation about a Joker sequel, possibly being made or is being made. If obviously at the end of Logan he didn't die, spoilers. Would you have wanted to see a sequel from that?
I believe that story was well and truly told through all the, regardless of what people think of the X-Men films. Some of them I utterly love. I just not all, literally two of them. No. So X-Men 1, 2, Days of Future Past, I really, really enjoy. And then Logan is up there with Joker's a better movie, but it's up there in terms of a flawless story told, and I think it's brilliant. So, but yeah, Logan, that was very, very at the end of the story told. So
the only problem I have with Logan, and I think I'm not alone with this, is the fact that he's the villain is he fought himself.
What the other X?
The other Logan, the other Wolverine, that was the only weak point for the film. The whole relationship with X-23 and everything was fantastic. Anyway,
fair point.
Go on, back to you.
I don't think you will have this one, but we'll see. Hans Lander from Inglourious Basterds.
Oh,
that's a really good one.
Christopher Waltz. Christopher Waltz is
amazing
fantastic.
character.
He is that film for me, and that character is just brilliant. I love it. I love that
amazing
film
character.
for that.
It's. I mean, would that character though be an amazing character if it wasn't for Chris? Just a question.
No, I don't think it would.
Yeah. So I think he's probably, if someone was to go to you, just a standard question: who's one of the best actors alive? He's there.
Christopher Waltz is there.
He's flawless, but that
nails every role.
Yeah, without question.
Brilliant. Yeah. It's the pie and cream bit for me.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite scenes ever. I love that scene. Yeah,
brilliant.
Oh, and he goes, "You want some grip?" It's so good, and he keeps talking in different languages. Flawless.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Just going well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a more modern day one because the overall part he's played in recent films. Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man.
Yeah.
Started a movement. I'm going to say a movement. But it is because every now is a franchise. Because of this and. Flawless through, I mean, Iron Man 3 is a bit shit, but all the way through up until the very end. What an amazing story and, rounding off to a character and his whole arc. He has to be there for me now.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
Has to be.
He holds a special place in many people's hearts purely because, as we've always said, if it wasn't for him making that film successful back in 2008, then we wouldn't have had the next decade or 13 years or whatever of what we got with MCU.
Yeah.
So he is
also big shout out to Marvel and Jon Favreau for this. The casting was exceptional. He's exactly like the comics to the point. Even after that, the comics started doing more making Robert Downey Jr. sort of stuff. But he was like that anyway. Yeah, just for me, he has to be.
Yeah,
there.
fair. Yeah.
One of mine, a little bit of a wild card, but again, I think I've mentioned it a few times. But my next one is Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
I'm not the Robert Downey Jr. Speak of the Devil is not. I'm not saying them films are amazing at all by any stretch.
Yeah.
But the character that's really something I could just watch all day long. So yeah, for me, Sherlock Holmes is one of the best characters I think you got.
I think it was highlighted in the Will Ferrell version.
Oh god, I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
seen
That looked awful.
Is it Holmes and Watson? It's
Holmes and
called,
Watson,
isn't it?
yeah.
Oh, that just looked awful.
But yeah, so I mean, the BBC one with Benedict Cumberbatch is I think brilliant. I love everything about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just that character for me.
Yeah,
Up there.
good. Back to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on the villain trail. The Dark Lord. Lord Voldemort.
Nearly made it in mine.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be there.
I love him. I think together with Darth Vader, he is probably one of the best
That was
villains.
my question to you.
What? Who's better?
Who's a better villain?
I think Lord Voldemort's a better villain. I think he's a better villain because he's just I don't know why. I think it's because we can see his face as well. Probably helps.
You got 3 films of Anakin Skywalker, I'll tell you that.
I don't know. That's
I
moments.
probably I know it's a tough one. I'm just going to leave it there. But yeah, I agree with you. That is an absolute iconic character.
Yeah.
And
Well,
what's his name? Reese Fiennes? No, Ray Fiennes. Sorry,
Yeah.
the actor is again absolutely flawless playing it.
Yeah.
So fair enough.
Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to another one now with Ray Fiennes in it. Not him as the character, though. But one Connor's not going to like. Mr. James Bond. You can't knock the character. It's James Bond. 60 years worth of films and some of the most iconic films in my lifetime.
60 years worth of films. Jesus Christ.
You can't. Pierce Brosnan, GoldenEye, fucking amazing film.
He's iconic.
Daniel Craig,
I'll give you that.
amazing in 2 out of the 4. And the last one to be, we'll see what happens yet.
So you think the character
Bond.
James
I'm not
Bond
talking about
yeah,
Daniel
yeah,
Craig,
yeah.
but
the character.
because I even like a few of the Sean Connery ones, the originals. Roger Moore, no, not
What about
for me.
Timothy Dalton?
Do you know what? Timothy Dalton in Living Daylights that's a great film. I like that one. Yeah, but just James Bond as a whole.
I know you are not a fan of it, Con. I can see it's not the character of James Bond isn't enough for me to warrant close to mine, but I can understand why. No, fair enough. I tried, Craig. I tried to reason.
No, thank you. I do appreciate it.
I'm going to argue tooth and nail when it comes to it.
Right, next one. Yeah, this is a bit of a wild card, but because he's not iconic at all or anything like that. But Tyrion Lannister.
He made it onto my list, but didn't make it in.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Every scene for 8 years he come on screen.
Yeah.
It was the best thing about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
And
easy.
He's not a sir, but Sir Peter Dinklage was just so incredible. He's always good. He's bloody. I remember him even in Elf. But
He's not good in the X-Men film.
Oh, yeah.
as a bull of a Trask.
Who was weirdly a big black guy in the original ones, and they just changed
Not
it
sure
to
where they went with that.
No.
I don't know where they went with that.
Anyway.
But yeah, so just absolutely the word captivating
Yeah.
for him he was so good. But yeah, so
That's another one with if it wasn't him doing it, it wouldn't be the same. But he was
Agreed.
brilliant as that.
I think if he died, I would have cried and Game of Thrones. He's the one I was rooting for not to. Anyone else, don't care, but just not him. Good.
Yeah,
All
nice.
right.
Yeah. This is some solid characters here so far. They're about to go downhill, I imagine.
Well, I've got 2 which I think are strong in my opinion. I'll go for the film one. I'll say the TV last. So my next film, Alonzo from Training Day, Denzel.
fair enough.
Great character.
That film
Yeah.
is one of my favourite films ever.
Thomases love that, don't they?
Yeah, Luke's like bananas over
I
it.
think it is his favourite film ever.
Yeah, but even some iconic lines are okay, right?
I use the gifs a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's the speech at the end for me.
Yeah,
That is fantastic.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Fantastic.
fair enough. I'm not as big a fan as yous. I mean, I love the film, but yous, I can see why it's so so well renowned and thought of. It is. Denzel Washington's always. It's hard to say that because he's fucking brilliant in everything. But yeah, that is an exceptional role he done there.
Yeah, it's just
Even Hulk's great in that.
Yeah, fair point.
I just
And
like
who's the bird? Eva Mendes.
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh dear.
I just love a ruthless character.
Yeah.
Just ruthless, and he's so cool as well.
Yeah.
yeah, love it.
Prime Denzel. Sorry. You.
Okay. Am I going to change this? No, I'm going to stick with what I've got here. John McClane.
Fair.
Just fun.
Craig's
Brilliant.
got a type in it. Craig's got.
Yeah, yeah.
Just no, fair enough.
To be fair, you
why,
could.
though? Why?
Oh, it's just because Die Hard is. Well, I mean, it's a classic film. Obviously, everyone knows that, and we all know they get steadily worse. But until the last one, which is just absolute dog shit. But John McClane, he's just a cool character. He's a bit like a not Denzel Washington Training Day, but as that first film goes on, he's getting ripped to shreds. Like he's, when his feet, the famous thing about his feet all cut up, and he's just getting more and more desperate for things to do. And he comes up with some brilliant ways to do things. And you got Anna Rickman's fantastic in as well. And you got some classic lines like Yippee Ki-Yay. It's just like everyone knows it. He's just a cool character.
Yeah, it is cool. I just wanted to hear you say it, but I agree.
No, he's trying to make me sweat.
I love it. Die Hard's fantastic. Yeah. That's fair enough.
Cool.
Exactly. Right, so one next. I'll save the wild card for the last. So the Joker.
Yes.
Not just because, again, I'm ignoring the fact that two of the best performances, in my opinion, on screen, Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix, come both portraying the Joker, but I just think that character, in a world of Marvel and DC and all the other bloody comic books, that to have a villain like that is just, I just think it's absolutely brilliant. And so, he's up there for me.
Yeah, I agree with
as
that.
a character.
I'm going to use the word again. Maniacal.
Oh,
and it makes him a great character.
I've never ever heard that word. I know it, but I've never heard that. Brilliant.
Fantastic character.
Cool.
You can't argue with it.
Right, on to final rounds. Big one for me. Heisenberg, okay, Walter White.
It's one of the ones I didn't say because I knew you would.
He has to go in there. He
great
is,
character.
Yeah,
great character.
Just a desperate man who just turns into an animal.
Yeah,
and I watched it a second time around. He is so fucking horrible.
Yeah,
he's disgusting. He is disgusting.
No, he's completely and utterly evil.
It starts with him doing it all for the right reasons, and by the end of it, it's just a big ego trip.
Yes.
He just needs to, just gets greedy.
Yeah, but that hat and glasses combination with the beard.
After watching it the second time around, I had much more admiration for him and Jesse's relationship because he treats him like a piece of shit for the majority of it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But brilliant.
I read his Bryan Cranston's autobiography. It's really good, his journey, because he was in like sitcoms and that. Then you got Malcolm in the Middle, and then you got the big break of Breaking Bad, and he was like, he just changed. He just allowed him to show what he can do. I thought he's
because he was always in. I remember from old things with like King of Queens. He played the neighbor in that, and he was always a sitcom. Funny person, like a dad sort of thing, and then obviously Malcolm in the Middle and stuff. So strange to then he goes from that to a fucking meth empire.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
Good.
Right now,
well, that was a big sigh.
I know,
because I mean, there's three I really want here.
Give us. You have to. You can't get off the hook. You have to give us your one out of the three that you prefer. But
I was gonna say this one just because. I thought one of you would have it. You haven't. I'm gonna stick with it. Jack Sparrow.
Oh, I did. Yes. I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other two was Indy and Han Solo. But anyway, I'll go with Jack Sparrow because again, films get worse, but you can't knock it. The character of Jack Sparrow, and again, like we've said for a few of these now, Johnny Depp playing that character made that character, and he's fantastic character.
Because even though we are talking about the characters, the only way these characters can be like in this conversation we're having is if the portrayal makes it that. And when you talk about Bryan Cranston and Johnny Depp and Tony Stark, Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, he might as well just be himself. I think he is himself for most of it. But it is such a good character.
Yeah. And I remember because, Curse of the Black Pearl, and I mean, the first three are pretty solid. Obviously, the third one gets a bit diluted by too many stories. But anyway, and when you first saw him, I mean, I don't know when that come out now. I don't know when the first one came out. It must be about 2003, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Must be
something along them lines. It was a brilliant cat. Everyone loved it. No one had a problem with that first one.
Yeah,
great film.
Orlando Bloom, fantastic. That film.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
Orlando Bloom as well, very good. And who's the bad guy now?
Oh, the bad guy.
Oh, the Barbosa. I can't remember his name.
The guy's name now.
Jeffrey
Rush.
I don't know.
Anyway, I think it's Jeffrey Rush. Anyway, but the whole thing was brilliant. And then we've all grown up with it as well because the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Florida before they added the Jack Sparrow bit. But brilliant.
Good. I like that.
Cool. Right, my last one. It was always going to be one of them in there, and it's the man, the Ranger of the North, the heir to the Sildor for Gondor.
I bloody knew it was going to be.
It's Aragon. That, as I've said to you, this probably does hold a little bit of a key to my heart because this was The Two Towers was the film that made me love films. I was already a fully fledged geek with Marvel and DC and that at this point, but film wise, that was the one to seal it for me. And his portrayal. Vigo Mortensen.
Thank
you very much. It was just so good, and the way he held himself as Aragon and the story of it. Oh, God, just so good. I'm getting annoyed. I don't know why, but yeah, just brilliant. And I'm due to watch them again soon. I love it. Sorry, I'll do it every about 2 years.
That's a good gap.
Yeah, I do it
because it takes about 2 years.
Yeah,
to watch.
it's the same with Harry Potter. People that do that every Christmas, I cannot do it every Christmas.
You got to thank ITV for that. It's just on constantly.
Yeah. But every 2-3 years, I'm like, oh my God, I need to go through them, and that's the same with in my eyes. Lord of the Rings is the same. So
can we possibly because obviously we're done now and we've got to make the list. Can we just run through some honourable mentions?
I was about to say that.
Honourable mentions.
Yeah, honourable mentions.
Love it.
Go on,
I'm going to pick for him. So I had Woody.
Yeah,
I had Woody.
Get
had
out.
Neo,
top drawer.
Yeah. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to have to put Indiana Jones there. But I know it's not for you, but that's my three honourable mentions.
Well,
/ Han Solo.
On Empire, Indy's number one.
Yeah, a few of them. He's number one.
Yeah, Han Solo's number 3. Yeah.
I've got 8.
Oh, Jesus.
I couldn't
Jesus
decide.
Christ.
I love them all, but I'll rattle them off.
Yeah.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Maya McFly.
I had that. Yeah, Mike McFly, yeah.
Sarah Connor. She's iconic. But
Yeah, she is.
I thought you would have gone with Terminator more. Like the actual Terminator.
Sarah Connor.
No.
Not for me. Not for me.
Axel Foley.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Doc from Back to the Future. Ron Burgundy.
I had that as well. Yeah.
Jon Snow.
Yep.
Yeah, he was close, yeah.
And Saul Goodman. But I love the series, so.
Fair point.
Any honourable, Brad?
I've got no honourable, to be honest with you. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Why did I say that? Yeah, fair. Oh, can I just go? Sorry, can I just do the last 2 I had there?
Yeah.
So I had Harry Potter, but
Yeah.
I think Voldemort's more.
Yeah.
And I had Ron Burgundy as well. And I had Captain America, but
Yeah.
That is so Craig, Captain America. Right, can we get 5 here?
Yeah. What should we do? Shall we each pick one and then put them up against each other and then knock them out?
I think so. Yeah.
I think we need to do that. And what we're trying to do here, we've now got to put aside our personal
preferences
and feelings and stuff like that, because I know Sherlock Holmes is not going to be in it, for example.
Yeah.
That's just because I love the character. So is that going to be in the top 5 greatest characters of all time? Probably not. So we've got to try. Well, I've got to try to put that to one side. So let's do it. Let's put some people up.
How about we go with your quintessential has to be in?
All right.
Out of your 5.
Okay. So for me, has to be in there is Voldemort.
And for me, it'll be Darth Vader.
And for me, it'd be Joker.
So that's 3.
Oh, Jesus.
That's 3 already. We've got 2 left.
That's 3 done. All right.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we're not arguing with this.
Yeah, I was about to say.
What? So we.
I was saying just your quintessential one. You in your head has to be in it.
Oh, but people, you can argue it.
Yeah, I think Voldemort over Darth Vader, and Joker, for me. But I haven't seen enough of Joker. I've only seen him in the 2 films, really.
So we've got 3 iconic villains here. I think there's only room for 1.
And I think it has to be Vader.
We're all,
No, I know.
What we're gonna do? Right.
So
give us some points. Why? So give me a quick defending argument on why you think Voldemort.
Because I think Voldemort, throughout all the films that he's in, he's fantastic, and as a villain, he is just feared among everyone in the school and in the magical world. He's the one you can't say his name, you can't do this, that. He's just evil.
I'll fucking say his name. I'm joking. Look, this is my only thing I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm not. This isn't a defense for Joker. I'm actually going to try and get us somewhere here.
Okay.
Why? Just quickly give us a quick statement on Darth Vader, Craig.
Vader, just not for me, but for the world, is iconic.
That's a tagline.
Exactly.
Is he running for president?
But no, but what I will say before, like films back in the 70s, 80s, he has with Luke one of the most iconic scenes ever, which everyone knows, and at the time if you didn't see it coming, you didn't know it was happening, where he reveals he is his father when Luke's, this young boy and whatever. And then every bit he's been in, and then his story got extended by seeing him turn to the dark side, which Revenge of the Sith, Anakin versus Obi-Wan is one of the best lightsaber fights you ever see, and it's iconic. I have the high ground. We'll quote it. And then it's just, and then he has a redemption arc at the end, saving his son. I don't think you can beat him as a villain. I really don't.
Right. I'm gonna, because I think it's decides on me, because I'm willing to partake with the Joker.
Yeah.
Right. So it's down to the two iconic villains of all time, Thanos. No, I'm joking. Is Vader and Voldemort. I've made an argument. I've made a decision. I've come to a decision. I'm gonna pip it to Vader.
I knew you would.
Get in!
Only reason is it just, if someone was to say to me, in fairness to Ray Fiennes and the character of Voldemort, it's perfect from start to finish when he's on screen to when he dies and evaporates. There has been some poor moments with Vader in terms of the portrayal of Hayden Christensen as his origin, and in some, I know they're old, but that fight scene with Obi-Wan, let's face it, in New Hope, wherever it was, but the character and the story of Vader, Anakin, and stuff, I just think is extremely, extremely iconic. So I'm gonna give it to Vader.
Okay, I'll concede. That's fine. I'll concede.
We've got one. We've agreed.
Okay, cool. We're one in.
Yep, fine. Yes. Whatever.
Who we next putting up then?
Well, let's go for.
None of mine are in it. I've just looked at them again. None of mine are in it.
I'm
So
going to struggle. I'm gonna go with Hans Lander. Yeah, Inglourious Bastards. So pick that level. The sort of same level as Hans Lander.
Okay. Let's no.
I don't know. Because the problem is I love that character, but it was a one-off good character by him, and it's not, for me, doesn't make that top 5 list. But
What's someone up against him?
John McClane.
Okay, that's an easy one for me. Hans Lander all day long, but we'll for you.
Oh no! Why am I the one that's
You got to put one up.
Oh, I've got to put one up.
Yeah, you
You're gonna have to, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think of the ones we've said. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to put them together in terms of the same character-ish type person. So what's his name? Alonso, is it?
Alonso, yeah.
Yeah. So same sort of ish character.
I you put one of mine up. You got to put your own up.
I've only got 5 though, and I just don't think any.
Could I just say I'm surprised you're not fighting, because I thought Aragorn would have been up here, because I'm close to thinking he's one of them in there.
I didn't.
Or you could put Wolverine up.
But when you think about when I think about the greatest ever characters of all time, I would struggle, even me, to put Aragorn in there. There's so many. We've named obviously loads, but as a character, I think about the story. I don't think about too much about the actor that portrayed him. I think about the story and the powerful that they've done in terms of on film and screen.
Yeah.
So I would struggle with the Inglourious Basterds fella.
So if you're conceding this round, not putting no one up, out of Hans Lander and John McClane, are you putting up? John?
I really love you, Con. I don't want that to be. I don't want that to go unnoticed, because I do love you. You've made me your best man. It's an honour. We've been friends for a long time. But it's John McClane.
I think, but you had the argument just a minute ago when we were talking about Voldemort, Joker, and Joker and Vader.
Yeah.
That you haven't seen enough.
Yeah, but he's still been around, but I haven't seen enough personally, so I can't put Joker in because personally I haven't seen enough.
Then you've only seen this character iconic and great in one film.
That's all he's made for.
Yeah.
So I think counting sequel, it's not fair if you say because over a course of this time he's been in more, so he's better.
Okay, but let's just say the first Die Hard then against Inglourious Bastards, John McClane versus.
I'd go Hans Lander. I think he's such a cool character. He's
extremely
charismatic.
Cool.
He's pretty ruthless. He's just got everything about him, and the actor that plays him is fucking phenomenal.
I think if you take Christoph Waltz in all his portrayals and put him up there as one of the great actors, then yes.
If you take Bruce Willis out of John McClane, put someone else in, it's the same.
And also, do you know what? I know what I think I'm trying. What I need to do here as well. Forget about the film franchise of Die Hard. I need to think about that character. And who do I think is more impressive? I've changed. What can I say? I've changed. Yeah. I will go with that.
So Hans Lander makes it.
Yes. Yeah. It's hard for me. It really hard because obviously John McClane is so iconic. So I do instantly think that. But the story wise of of John and good old John and
John
Hans.
Boy.
I suppose the more powerful when I watched and was like, wow, I suppose it probably would be Hans.
I think we've got to put franchise to the side and look at the character.
The way he's staring at you.
Yeah, I know.
Connor, for any listeners here, Connor is staring.
This has just turned into me
Craig.
versus Connor now,
I
right?
feel like you're close to fighting. Anyway,
All
right, let's go. Next up.
Next one up. Right, I'm going to put one that's not going to get in. David Brent.
I'm going to say John McClane. I'm going to go with it because a big case for it earlier. Iron Man, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man.
You've immediately beat me, so there's still a break comes up with.
Okay, I will put in then.
Ooh, I've got a good one for you to put in. Oh, Wolverine.
I was about to put in Wolverine, yeah. So I'm going to put in the character of Wolverine. So now, let's face it, Con, I love David Brent, but I think it's going to be Wolverine versus Iron Man here.
Absolutely.
I think he's drunk his water as he said that. He's agreed. So
I broke my tie.
It's Wolverine versus Iron Man. Again, we've got to put franchises aside. We said earlier what Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man gave us in terms of the MCU. So it's just off the base. We know what mine. It's going to be down to you here, Con. So we need to throw this over to you.
I think for me, Wolverine gets in. And that's
So you're telling me I've lost 2 in a row? Is that what we're saying now?
He's going to fucking kill you.
He is, I know he is. I'm going to go against you because I just think he's a cooler character. I think Iron Man, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. characters sometimes just a bit clumsy, just a bit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it.
I personally, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore both of these, so it's hard. But I personally think the story of Logan, in my opinion, the story of Logan is a better story than the billionaire, genius, playboy, philanthropist, in my opinion.
Yeah. What's your counter argument?
No point, is there?
Just conceding.
He's like, get this done. I want to watch Fulham.
I just think that now Iron Man is just iconic, and Wolverine was. Yeah, if we take the first films of each one.
No, but you've got to. This is what you got.
No, I know.
Character.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I prefer.
Yeah.
Because I prefer the whole arc of Iron Man. You know, he is a drunk playboy at the start, weapons manufacturer, gets his suit, does the good thing, and then by the end of it, he's selfish or whatever, and by the end of it, he's not this selfish. He kills himself to save everyone else and sacrifices the fact that, he has his daughter.
I mean, this is a close contest, no word about it. It's not like cut and dry, but I think for me, Wolverine just pips him to the post. Craig's not happy. We're getting kicked out in a minute.
We're not finishing this fight.
Right, so fourth one, we've got our 3.
Yep. I'll go with Alonso Training Day, which I know, again, is probably not going to get in, but I'll put him up there.
Well, I don't know. Do I bother saying that?
I'm throwing in. That's Aragon. I'm throwing in Aragon here. Just a quick. So, who are you going to go? Who are you going to go with?
I've got to think tactically here because I've got to save one for the
Have a
last
think.
one.
Yeah. Let me just.
No, I'm gonna throw in James Bond. I know you're not going to, but
I'm going to hate.
These are 2 things Connor doesn't like.
Yeah, and I'm going to absolutely hate that. Alonso doesn't get in for me. He's not. He's a fantastic character, but he's not there.
Yeah.
I'm going to hate myself, but I think James Bond does it. I know. I know what. I want to leave.
I'm as surprised as you are.
I want to leave the podcast, like exit the group and that, and just pack it in.
No, it's close enough. I think out of the 2, I think when I think of the character and the story he went through and the trilogy of it, I think it's Aragon all day. But
go on, yeah.
No, but I can understand the character of James Bond. There's a reason it's as popular as it is. The character is fantastic.
But speaking about it, because this might have to be between you two, because I don't watch Lord of the Rings. So as a character, I don't really know the arc and everything about that. So it's up to you. This is your battle here. This is not. I can't be refereed.
So it falls to you then, Craig.
Well,
you have final say.
Okay, what I'll say is James Bond is. I know you got Ethan Hunt, which I'm surprised neither of you mentioned, but James Bond is just cool. With James Bond, he gets the birds, he gets the gadgets. I mean, he does. There's a reason why there is a reason why these iconic women are known as well. Bond girls, every sort of spy thing has the same thing. Sexy woman or whatever in it. But
sexy ladies.
But Bond girls are a thing as well. He has the cool gadgets. That fucking the cars, the weird phones that do things, the little gun that comes out of a lighter, and all this other shit. And personally, for me, during my lifespan, it's been Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig, and I love the Pierce Brosnan ones. They got really cheesy with Die Another Day towards the end, but then to reinvent the character to a more grittier bruiser type spy as Daniel Craig, I thought was brilliant. And yeah, I loved
Let's
both
give
of
it
them.
that was a good argument.
Yeah, okay.
Let's give it a Bond. You need to put an edit in on something. That was incredible. Right, okay, Bond's in there. So
One space to go.
can we have a little quick rattle off?
I was going to say, does everyone remember?
Yeah, Vader,
Hans.
Bastard.
Hans didn't get in, did he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hans
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
beat
did,
John
yeah.
McClane. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hans. Wolverine got in there,
Yeah.
Bond.
and Bond.
Okay.
Some great characters.
We're down to the
Yeah.
fifth one then.
I've got a big hitter as well.
Go on.
Walter White. Heisenberg.
And, well, my last one is Jack Sparrow.
That's a battle. Who you got?
I'll put it in, but Tyrion Lannister.
Oh, that is a battle. Oh, this is hard. This is hard.
I think straight away Walter White goes in over Tyrion Lannister.
See, I think I might have to disagree.
Your bloody suggestion.
I know, but Tyrion Lannister.
I'm trying to give him a fucking olive branch here.
Tyrion Lannister.
Hughes are not just. This wasn't meant for you today. You're just going to end it.
He just about didn't make my list, which is
Yeah.
why I'm thinking he was brilliant throughout, and as a character, he's fantastic. But even Jack Sparrow is an icon. I can't call it.
But
this.
the only thing I'll say Walter White over Tyrion Lannister is Walter White, Breaking Bad is his show. The whole show is carried by him.
Yeah.
I know to an extent, when Tyrion was on screen, everyone loved it. But without him in it, the show would have been worse. But that's not the show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
fair.
Fair point.
Walter White is the show.
All right, so it's Heisenberg and Jack Sparrow.
I think I would agree with Walter White over Tyrion and Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd go with Jack.
No, what? No.
No, we're going.
I think he would go over Jack.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said we're going to go with Jack.
No.
All right, yeah.
No, I think Jack Sparrow, like we said, we had the argument for it already. Iconic and brilliant character played by him. But I think, Walter White's one of the best, if not the best, TV character ever put to screen.
Yeah, I agree.
So
point.
there's no argument on that one. Then nice.
No, so we've got our 5.
That's a fantastic list.
Yeah, that is a top draw character. He's still fuming.
he
Craig
is,
about. I think the Wolverine got to him.
Yep.
I thought if I lose John McClane, I'm gonna get Iron Man in this one, but no. Anyway, go on, rat them off. So who we got them?
So top of the list, villain wise, we went with Vader.
Should we do what order
Oh,
of these 5?
I think out of those, so what we got? So Vader, Hans,
Yeah.
then we got
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Who was before Walter White?
Oh God, who was it?
Voldemort.
Oh no, Bond. It was Bond.
No, Bond.
yeah,
Sorry,
Bond
you.
didn't make it, did he?
Gee,
I don't know where I am.
Yeah. So out of those, I believe that it's between Vader and Walter White for number 1.
Yeah. I would say, well, on the argument that the show alone is Walter White, I would say Walter White number 1.
But the 9 films is the Skywalker saga, so it is Vader.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I
Well, of
wouldn't.
course it is.
I wouldn't say the same argument as he did not.
No. There's other characters. Obviously, he's not. If it was a galaxy
It's
buddy,
it's the Skywalker family saga. It's not the Anakin Skywalker
but
saga.
it starts and pretty much ends with him.
It's basically a show of Maury.
It ends with Luke.
Actually, ends with Ray, who he's not a Skywalker at all. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to even put my argument into it. Vader's for me is the most iconic movie character of all time.
I'd say Walter White.
Oh, you bastard. So it's film vs TV here. They're one of the best. No, for me, the best TV person on screen with Walter White and Bryan Cranston. Then we've got Darth Vader, who is so bloody iconic. I'm gonna go with because of the stature of the man.
Vader. Fair enough.
Yep. So Vader's number 1.
And Walter White second him.
Walter White second.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's movie film straight off the bat. Then we go into
Third place.
third place playoffs.
It's Bond. Just put it there. It's Bond.
I'd say Wolverine.
I think I'd go Wolverine.
What?
Yeah.
So what? So Wolverine beat out Iron Man. Now he beats Bond as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, get out of here!
In your mind,
Yeah,
when you're seeing that absolute iconic span of 60 years,
Yeah.
it's just the character.
Yeah.
And for me, the Schmucker James Bond, it's cool, but it's no way a better character and story than Logan for me.
No.
Well, he started the spy movement, didn't he? About Bond. What else is there?
Fair, but
Yeah, Wolverine. Are you going to hate me for number 4 as well?
No, you're not putting Inglourious Basterds above. No, I'm sorry. No.
I would go Hans Lander.
No,
over
I'm not having
James
that.
Bond.
I will. I'm not going to kick him while he's down.
Well, James Bond's quite a lame character.
He's not lame. He's one of the coolest guys on the planet or whatever.
Is he though?
Yes.
Luther's cooler than him.
I'll leave it out.
Sounds Ethan Hunt.
I think
No.
the American geezer Felix. I think he's better.
Yeah, I think so. Right.
No, I'm sorry. If you're watching a spy film and it's like a kid growing up or whatever, and this spy, cool spy, gets all the ladies, loves his car, has brilliant cars, Aston Martins, BMW, down to the bot, has all the gadgets as well. Come on.
He's not cool. He's suave. He's not cool. I don't think he's cool. He's a
I
suave.
think Daniel
man.
Craig's cool. Pierce Brosnan was suave.
Well, it's a character though as a whole.
Well, he's both then, isn't he?
I do. Yeah, I'm with you a little bit here, Carl. There isn't actually, in my opinion, I know what you just rattled off. There isn't that much to James Bond.
No.
I don't think he's just a spy with gadgets,
So he's like Iron Man.
and he gets birds. But any good-looking bloke gets birds, and I just think that the character, it's done extremely well film-wise. But take that to one side, the character alone. There isn't, for me, that much about it.
there's
There was
not.
an orphan brought up. It's a bit trained as a spy, and he finds out about his family heritage.
MI6 is a real thing, or whether it is MI7, they're in there. They're real people.
I can't, in all good conscience and all good faith, I cannot put James Bond in 4th and Hans Lander not.
Pish. I say pish to you.
I mean, if I'm outgunned, then fair enough. But I think James Bond is not a fantastic.
Look, to be honest, I'm annoyed that the Inglourious Basterds one's in anyway. But no, great character, like I said. But I'm sorry, I'm not putting James Bond underneath it. I can't. It's just
you've got too much of a love for James Bond. You can't see past it. You can't see past
It
it.
has been very hard to do this and not account for stuff because I would immediately think James Bond over Hans. But but it's about you're trying to take everything with the character.
I would even just say Daniel Craig's Bond over Hans. Forget the rest of them. Just Daniel Craig.
Go James Bond.
Grittier.
Go James Bond.
I'm going to go with James Bond here and end it with
Hans Lander.
Christoph Waltz.
You got in the top 5?
Yeah, fair. Fine.
But some outstanding characters in TV and film there portrayed by some fantastic.
Yeah. I mean,
Do
the fact that Hans has just staved off John McClane it just angered me, but we'll carry on.
You got it. He's in.
Just about.
Cool, that's us done.
Yeah, so move on to what's on our screens?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's on your screen, Brad?
I thought it was a sound bite.
No, it's not. We ain't got one yet. You can make one if you want.
We'll get one. Right, so just a couple here. I have seshed and completed Jupiter's Legacy.
Okay.
This is what I was waiting to talk about. I've watched the first 2 today.
Oh, okay. So where do I say? Obviously, not. It's just about what I'm not going to go too much into it. Again, my voice. Hang on, I'm all over the shop. It wasn't a great series. The CGI in parts, in some moments, were really bad. However, the only thing which I really did like, I do think. Well, we knew it was going to be a good story because of Mark Miller and stuff. When I didn't know that, you told me about that. It was him that done this in his comic. The story, I feel, is very good. I feel like they do have something, but it wasn't a great first season. I feel like they've tried to set up for another season, and it might well be better. But yeah, it wasn't great. What did you think of the first 2?
So the first episode ends with that big fight with Black Star. God, fucking, that was awful. Like Power Rangers 90s level. It was really
Just on
bad.
a hill.
Yeah, it's on a big weird hill, and then nearly every character in it can fly, and they couldn't get that right. It doesn't look right at all. And when someone gets hit and flown back, I don't know, fucking 20 feet or something, it just looks very obvious that that's not happening. Do you know what I mean? It's like on white. It was just, and the CGI was wafty, but
It isn't good.
I've only watched 2 of them. The second one was a bit of a snooze fest. Not much happened. It's about when his dad commits suicide. Not spoilers, but who cares? And it ends with him him being told where he's obviously going to become this. No, not for me. I will continue watching it, but that for something that's a superhero show, my God, does it look bad?
Yeah.
It struggled big time. But yeah. Sorry.
Also, can I just bring up a point? Because I was going to ask you about this. Yeah. So at the end of it, they're fighting this big villain. And by the way, this villain's already killed 2 of these heroes, like blasted through someone's head, and blasted through someone's chest, dead, fully dead.
Yeah.
And then he's about to kill his dad, and the son jumps up and hits him so hard in the head that his face caves in and he dies. And then everyone has a massive problem with it. I don't get it. So, they're like, no, you shouldn't murder. He already killed 2 of them, about to kill his dad. Even his dad goes, no, that's not on.
I don't agree with that. I think it's stupid. The whole point of this is this union that they have of superheroes, which is basically just like Justice League.
Yeah.
They even have the seats on the table. It's all about his what he calls the code. And his code is simple: use your powers to make the world a better place, and you absolutely categorically cannot kill. Like, that's it. But then, because its times have changed, that's where the story leads. In the later part of the series, all the heroes that are in the Union start to people are getting killed by villains out there and stuff, and like some quite brutally later on, and they all start just even like, I won't say too much, but even his close personal family, not just his son, start saying your code is just wrong.
Yeah,
and it's
I got it, and I thought that's quite a good hero thing, because that is a normal hero thing, really. But the fight, 2 of them, one of them was beheaded, one of them was shot through the left and dead, and his dad was about to be killed.
He was going
because nuclear.
He was going nuclear,
and then he had, as soon as he kills him, like his son kills him and saves his life and saves everyone else there. He don't have got it. Actually has got it. Like, what are you doing? And I was like,
next time I'll leave you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
he even says it later on. I think the second episode goes, you was about to die. He goes, we don't kill. I was like, I'd die then next time. But yeah.
So that was on my screen. One thing I'll just quickly mention, Young Rock.
Oh yeah.
Finished it off. I class that as a very good series.
Yeah.
It was very emotional. I feel like I know everything I needed to know at that point of his life. I just think it's brilliant. It's so touching, and you completely understand why his life's like this, and how he got to where this global star he is.
Yeah.
And it's mad to think where it all started. And it was always a plan, a goal of his to make his mum and dad's life better. And obviously his dad passed away January last year. And then at the end of the series, it's him with his actual mum sitting there speaking. And he just says, like, in a nice, not like crying or anything, he just laughs and goes, can you imagine if Dad could see us now and stuff?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's brilliant. But nice. It tells you all, but you don't find out the presidential candidate, so that's coming season 2. You don't find out.
Confirmed in it, season 2.
So very good series. I really recommend it.
Good.
Sorry, one more thing, very quick. This is, I'm reading, and I've just read it. It's, I finally got the Maestro.
Oh, yeah. Nice,
comic series. This, it's like someone's gone, what does Brad like? Let's do this. So I'm not going to explain the character Maestro. Obviously, if you don't know, have a little Google job. But very, very good character. But it's you've got Hercules in it. You've got Hercules comes back as a favour from Hades, from hell. It is just absolutely brilliant, and it's so good. And
I might have a borrow of that.
Yeah, definitely. I finished it. I finished it. So the first issue ends really cool, but. Yeah, it shows a different side to Hulk because he can't beat Hercules, so he has to do something else. And very good read. And I knew it would be. I remember saying to Craig, I really want this like months ago, and I finally got it. But yeah, the fact that you had like all fucking Greek mythology in there, it was brilliant. Yeah, good, cool.
I've got my screen. I'm watching Grey's Anatomy at the minute. And me and Holly are glued to it. We're on season 3 because there's like season 1 is only. Season 1 there's 9 episodes. Well, season 2, there's 28 episodes.
Cool. That was back in the day when they used to have long series.
And there's 9 seasons, and 1's out now. But it's brilliant. It's not what you think. It's not like Casualty or anything like that. It's really, really.
I'm sure everyone listening doesn't know what Casualty is.
Oh yeah. What can I compare it
to?
ER. Yeah, it's really good, and I would say it's a good show to watch with your partner. Very good.
No, fair enough. I enjoy New Amsterdam, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
So I imagine I probably would enjoy that.
Yeah,
so,
I think you would.
Yeah.
Greg?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, I watched the second episode of Bad Batch. It was out on Friday. It seems like now all the episodes are half hour or less. It wasn't as good as the first one. It wasn't as good. I think it's a bit annoying with series when they just include a child. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you've already said it about it in film anyway. But they just have this child in it who's quite annoying and a really annoying accent. I know it's South African-ish accent. It's meant to be like the clones or whatever. But yeah, just very. I thought they got rid of her as well because there's a bit where like they did a nice moment. It was like, oh, we'll get you this thing to get you off planet. You don't want to be around with us. And then right at the end, she turns up again.
back.
It's like, I do want to be with you.
Especially when we just saw like Mando, which is literally that. That was brilliant, obviously, but we've just seen a Star Wars thing about a character taking and looking after a child.
Yeah.
And now, as Craig said, this seems to be, this whole series is going to be based around this Omega.
Yeah.
So
because I mean, I guess because what I saw someone post about it on Instagram. And it's like each Star Wars animated show had an annoying kid at the start, and then they become legendary. So Ahsoka,
right,
from Clone Wars, and then he had Ezra, and then whatever, and then they reckon this one goes. I can't see it.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think so. But yeah, no, that's all I'm watching. Obviously, I watched the first 2 episodes of Jupiter's Legacy thing.
Yeah.
Probably will watch the rest, but I'm in no rush.
Yeah,
I'm in no rush at all.
Cool.
Scraps?
Bunch of scraps!
Now, this genuinely is scraps. 'Cause I've got hardly anything. Some I just saw before we come on air. There's been some big thing about the Golden Globe. Not sure what the whole thing is, but NBC have confirmed they're not airing the Golden Globes in 2022.
Did you see the tweet that came out just a minute ago
No.
about Tom Cruise?
No.
He's giving them back all his awards.
Is he really?
Yeah, because he's standing against this thing.
I need to read into
Yeah, I
it.
need
I
to
don't know
learn
what it
about
is, but I
this.
just saw it pop up saying he's giving back his 3 awards.
Yeah, because Netflix and Amazon have distanced themselves as well and said we're not a part of this. Now NBC have said we're not airing it. So something's happened.
Yeah. Something's
Something's up.
You would
Right,
have thought it was a sort of a news podcast. We would have brought it to you, but
let's look into that, and we'll come back next week and discuss it, because I'd like to know. I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing actors coming out with statements and stuff, and I didn't know about that. What Craig just said.
I just popped up about half hour ago.
So I need to know about this, because it seems to be big in Hollywood.
that's my scrap. That's it.
Cool. I've actually got 0 scrap.
Ooh, great.
I have 2.
Ooh, lovely.
I thought you're not your 2 lies, 1 true thing. Look at that. Today.
Oh yeah, let me put that. I completely forgot. I'll put that in here.
Yeah.
So now go with your scraps. I'll end with that.
Yeah, good end.
I need to put it at the start. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah.
I've been waiting for it because it's 1-0 Connor at the moment.
It's supposed to be the old wake up the brain for the podcast. I completely forgot.
People go to sleep now.
Yeah, no, done.
just 2 quick ones. So Gal Gadot's come out and about Joss Whedon threatening her on set of Justice League. She sort of said something similar to this before, but her actual quote is now, he threatened my career and told me that if I did something, he'll make sure my career will be miserable, and I just took care of it on the spot. So basically she's saying 2 things. One, that he's saying, that horrible statement, basically do what I tell you, otherwise you're ruined. But she's also coming out and sort of saying, I took care of it there and then. So it's not like the Ray Fisher thing where it's gone on for months. This is done and dusted, but she wanted to make the sort of record straight.
Yeah.
The other thing, this was a TikTok I saw, right? I'm not going to show you it, but I just want to explain to you something because I thought this blew my mind, right? So there is a huge filmmaking mistake in Skyfall. You can't say anything now because James Bond's in the 5. But, so I don't know if you remember, there's a bit where he goes to, I can't remember who he is anyway, but he's in like a skyscraper, it's all neon lit, and he's fighting with a sniper bloke in Skyfall, right?
Yeah.
So, James...
No, that's not Oscar Isaac. One thing, but sorry, go on.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it looks. I remember
So
it's
he's fighting. It's quite a cool scene with the neon lights. It looks quite good. But right, listen to this. So Daniel Craig insisted that he wanted to wear these cool leather gloves in this. It made him look more of a spy, right? So he was wearing these little gloves, like there's no fingerprints or that box. Wearing the gloves. Anyway, film the whole scene. Do it all. Film's ready to go. And then someone pointed out that in that film, he's given the gun that only recognises his palm. Right, so they went back and went, we can't redo this now. So, and when you look at it, you can notice it. So basically, every scene where he's holding his hands are in it, they're CGI hands. So, and there's a bit where it pulls the thing where he's like holding the gun, like you would hold a normal gun, and you can see they're not real hands. It's really weird, but you wouldn't notice it unless you know it.
No,
but yeah, I just thought it was a weird story, just because
that is crazy.
Someone pointed out, well, his gun wouldn't recognise his hands now because he's got gloves on.
Print,
yeah. So so if you, I'll try and find the TikTok again to watch it because it is brilliant.
Yeah.
You just see his little hands and they just look like beige gloves now. He's got on. Do you know what I mean?
That's
It's
cool.
weird. But anyway, yeah, that was
I love
just
stuff like that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, go on.
Right, yeah, let me end on this. I promise next week I'll have an actual one at the start. Apologies. Right, so this is a method acting sort of spin on it. So, again, same record, 2 statements. 3 statements, 2 are true, 1 is a lie.
Yep.
It's about particular actors or actresses. This is 2021, remember?
Yeah.
I think they're just called actors now.
I do this every time. So it's just a case of they done something for a role and 2 are true. Right.
So we're just picking the lie, aren't we? That's
You're just
what
going to
we're
pick the
doing.
lie.
Okay.
So, and it's 1-0 Connor because he got he won
did.
last week.
Sure did,
so
yeah.
big moment. You can't even go 2-0, Craig. Right. So first one. This is about Michelle Pfeiffer and the old Batman Catwoman. She insisted. Let me so I can read. She insisted on having 6 cats in her trailer whilst filming as Catwoman to help supplant her as the role. So basically, just to copy him. Shia LaBeouf. Good old Shia LaBeouf in Fury, great film.
Yeah.
Great film.
Yeah.
He didn't shower for over 4 months.
Right.
That's my statement. And Leo, good old Leo,
Yeah.
in The Revenant. No, I just pronounced it right.
Revenant, yeah.
The Revenant.
Yeah.
He ate raw liver to get him into that era.
The lie, I'm gonna go Shia LaBeouf. I think that's too wild for him.
I think I know 2 of them are true. And I think I know the liver one, right? There was a story that came out about the liver thing, right? Where apparently that was rumoured that was true, but I think that turned out not to be true.
That's what you're going for.
Oh, it's in my head now. Ooh. What did you go for the Shia LaBeouf
Shia
one?
LaBeouf, yeah.
I'm going to go with the liver one.
You're both wrong.
Did the
Oh,
Michelle
it's a cat.
Pfeiffer thing?
Shia LaBeouf didn't shower.
Shia LaBeouf didn't shower for over 4 months to help get in the role of Fury.
His cast members must think you fucking
Yeah,
stink,
it's disgusting. Because obviously they wouldn't have showered for like...
And also, they'll be in a very closed space in that little tank. So,
So
grim.
it is at the end of it, it's still 1-0. I have some cracking ones.
do you know what
next week.
that liver thing? I remember that coming out, and I thought it was true, and then I thought I read before that was actually debunked that he didn't actually do that. But okay,
Yeah,
it
both
turns
are.
out he did.
I saw it on that. It was on that particular one because I took it from. There's a show called "There's Something About Movies" on Sky.
Yeah.
That was on that, and they were laughing about that. But so 1-0 to Connor next week. I've got some cracking ones.
Damn it.
I'll put it in the intro next week. I'm intro next week, and we'll go then. But you're winning 1-0, Con.
Lovely.
Ow.
Brilliant. Right, so that's the show. Thanks for listening. If you got this far, it was quite a fun one, I think.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
I hope you enjoyed it as well. Socials at Weekly Cut, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. So like and subscribe as well. Next week we have got another episode like this, I think, maybe.
Yeah, we'll put it out maybe and decide what we're going to do. We can do another one of, I don't know, what sort of greatest movie. I don't know, something like that.
We'll have something, but come back because we'll have all the latest news, the breaking news and whatnot.
Standard.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
As always.
Thanks.